Chapter 21. Not to be a slave. Young master, you seem to be quite hesitant. Right before Han Yi entered the study, Tushin King's voice rang in his ears. It's not so much hesitation as a lack of confidence. He responded. Confidence? What more do you need? If you want to leave, just go. At worst, I could just kill everyone in this mansion for you, and no one could stand in your way. Tushin Kingli uttered indignantly. Upon hearing her suggestion to kill everyone in the mansion, Han Yi started sweating profusely and quickly tried to stop her. Absolutely not. If you take action, it would instantly draw the attention of the sect. The eldest son of Liu Manor is a disciple of the inner sect of the Dragon Sparrow sect. If the Liu Manor gets slaughtered, his mentors would certainly investigate. At that point, neither of us could escape punishment, and the whole village would probably suffer too. Such concern, young master, I was only helping you to vent your anger. Tushin Kingli could not help but laugh. The repercussions of exterminating a family are too huge and the risks are too high. I won't be that foolish, I understand, she continued. At a loss for words, Han Yi said, you cannot make such jokes casually in the future. Fine. Oh, if it isn't Han Yi, what are you doing standing in the doorway? Why not come in and have a seat? Just as Han Yi was quietly conversing with Tushin Kingli, a beautifully dressed woman approached from outside. Seeing her, Han Yi hurriedly greeted her. Greetings to the mistress. She was the lady of the Liu Manor, Lady Liu herself. She embodied the elegance of a well-born lady, mild-mannered and understanding, truly a virtuous wife to Lord Liu. I am here to see the master. After a moment's hesitation, Han Yi revealed his purpose. Lady Liu held a position of influence in the mansion. Perhaps the matter could be resolved more smoothly through her. He silently prayed towards his Wei Wu Legacy 1 attribute. It's your turn to shine. You're not reliable at all normally, but now you need to pull your weight. The master isn't in the study at the moment. What is your business with him? Lady Liu scanned Han Yi from head to toe, taking a good look at him. The more she looked, the more satisfied she seemed. Somehow, she thought Han Yi perfectly matched her aesthetic. The more she looked, the more appealing he seemed, completely to her liking. If only she hadn't have married so early. She could only push her daughter to seize this opportunity. She had been regularly asking around about Han Ye's affairs. He is diligent, studious, hardworking, and has good talent. His martial arts progress was rapid. Even her own daughter, who was a martial arts prodigy, thought it strange. This Han Yi managed to learn all of her years of accumulated pugilistic knowledge. Indirectly, this proved that Han Yi was a good candidate for her son-in-law. As for his background, she didn't care so much. Back then, when Liu Xinglong was chased out of his family penniless. Without her taking him in, there would be no Liu Manor today. Her husband has always wanted to return to the provincial main house, in order to prove that he did not live an inferior life and has achieved something. Unfortunately, he never got the chance. I wish to redeem my servitude through seeing the master. This is an order written by the magistrate of Liang County. Han Yi, looking very serious, presented a sealed letter. Seeing the surprised look in Lady Lia's eyes, he handed over the letter, which she glanced at, then said, let's go inside and talk. After stepping inside, Lady Liu sat down in her chair, opened the letter and read it carefully. Being a lady of good family, reading was of course no problem for her. After a while, Lady Liu placed down the letter in her hand, her gaze resting on the formal-looking Han Yi. She smiled and said, the decision on your slave contract, I alone can't make. We must still discuss this with the master. In her heart, Lady Liu naturally hoped that Han Yi can be liberated from his servant status. In this way, he would be free and would be a more suitable match for her daughter. However, seeing as this was a significant matter, it would be more appropriate to involve the master and let him decide. Upon hearing Lady Liu say this, Han Yi's eyes were filled with anticipation. Doesn't this mean that Lady Liu has already agreed? With Lady Liu stepping in, this matter is halfway to resolution. Seeing Han Yi's expression, Lady Liu comforted him by saying, you have become a part of the Liu Manor after passing the selection test. And moreover, you will be joining the Dragon Sparrow sect in the future. Your status as a slave will not hinder your growth. The Liu Manor isn't so narrow-minded, you need not worry. Someone, go and call for the master." He then got up and gave an order to the family servant outside the room. "Yes, Mum." Not long after, a chubby middle-aged man appeared at the entrance of the courtyard. Liu Xinglang, stroking his beard, walked into the study, poured himself a pot of tea. And after finishing his tea with a sigh, he then looked at the standing Han Yi. "I heard from your lady that you want to buy your freedom?" "Yes," Han Yi nodded. Liu Xinglang then carefully read the letters on the table, and after a while, "Hezade, Itashardly is the handwriting of Magistrate Liang. Unexpectedly, even the Magistrate Liang is pleading on your behalf. You've got some tremendous influence." Sir Liu said the latter half of the sentence in a playful tone, with a smile on his face. Han Yi respectfully clasped his hands, being favored by Magistrate Liang. "This truly is the greatest fortune in my life." Madame Liu, seeing his respectful demeanor and boyish charm, could not help but lean over to Liu Xinglang's ear and say a few more words. "My lord, I think it's almost time. Han Yi will join the Dragon Sparrow sect in the future. Being a servant there will be inappropriate. With his aptitude, if he..." Madame Lia's words met with Liu Xinglang's approval, and he repeatedly nodded his head. She was reminding Master Liu, if Han Yi's performance in the mansion is chosen by the Dragon Sparrow sect, he will become a genuine cultivator. No decent cultivator would serve as a household servant for others. Not to mention, Han Yi might rise to great heights someday that would be even more extraordinary. Therefore, when associating with people, one should establish good relations. Now is a good opportunity. Liu Xinglang thought his wife was making a lot of sense. He's been listening to his wife praising Han Yi every day, and over time, he started to feel more satisfied whenever he saw Han Yi. Therefore, he slowly said to Han Yi, "I, Liu Xinglang, am not the type to be jealous of good people. Even without Magistrate Liang, I would return your slave status sooner or later. Now that we have the magistrate's order, it would be better to act sooner rather than later. I'll return your body deed to you today." "Thank you, my lord." Han Yi slightly bowed to Liu Xinglang, his eyes revealing joy. This went more smoothly than he had expected. He looked at Madame Liu gratefully. She played a large part in making this happen. It also showed that the Wei Wu legacy was indeed useful. If you want to buy your freedom, have you prepared the money? That's the standard rule. Liu Xinglang saw that Han Yi maintained his manners and was composed, covertly giving a nod, then asked straightforwardly, "I certainly have." Han Yi firmly nodded. "About 10 taels of silver, can you afford that?" Liu Xinglang asked tentatively. If Han Yi could not afford it, they would have to wait a bit longer. "Yes, that's enough." Han Yi took out a brilliant silver ingot from his arms and respectfully handed it over. From the sale of the tiger skin and the reward he had received from Magistrate Liang, he had a substantial bit of savings. Although it wasn't much, it was certainly enough for his daily life and to pay his redemption fee. Liu Xinglang accepted the silver, pleased. He pulled out paper and a pen from the study and said, "Good, I'm going to write a proof for you now. Tomorrow, you can go to the government office to get your slave status removed." In the following time, Han Yi watched as the new ink was ground, and soon, Master Liu had written out a letter proving his redemption and handed it over to him. "This is your body deed. I've turned it up, take it." Madame Liu handed over the yellowed piece of paper to Han Yi with a faint smile on her face. "Thank you, my lord." "Thank you, madam." Han Yi once again bowed and thanked them. As he held his body deed and proof letter, he was overcome with emotion, and his posture straightened even more. From this moment on, he was no longer a tenant but martial artist Han Yi. He would be someone courted and no longer a house servant of Lia's manor. He could now pursue his endless journey into the cultivation world without any worries. With his accumulation destiny, he will undoubtedly make his mark.